And we're back with the Fox News Alert. Minneapolis police declaring an unlawful assembly overnight after a mob of anti-ICE protesters attempted to breach the hotel where they believed ICE agents are staying. This comes as we're seeing cell phone video taken by a federal agent involved in the fatal shooting of Renee Good. Matt Finn is live on the ground in Minneapolis with the latest. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Charlie, it's quiet right now, but just a few hours ago, really, not far from where I'm standing, it was a much different scene. These protesters, some who turned into rioters, surrounded a hotel where they thought ICE agents are staying. Our Garrett Tanney was on the scene. He reports a small group of the protesters broke into the depot in downtown Minneapolis, which I believe is attached to the hotel. They were tossing around the furniture inside while others were spray painting anti-ICE messages on the windows. Now outside, the protesters were playing instruments, banging drums, and blowing whistles to prevent immigration agents from sleeping or getting rest. Our Fox affiliate reports police declared an unlawful assembly sometime within the 10 o'clock hour last night. Now, yesterday, body camera video showing some of the final moments leading up to the ICE agent shooting of 37-year-old Renee Good was acquired by Fox. Let's watch that video.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Whoa!
Now, Vice President J.D. Vance says that video shows the officer shot Renee Good in self-defense, but the Democratic mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, is condemning the federal agent.
The ICE agent walked away with a hip injury that he might as well have gotten from closing a refrigerator door with his hips. He was not injured. I've seen worse injuries from doing that. And so give me a break. No, he was not ran over. He walked out of there with a hop in his step.
So there were anti-ICE protests and small riots here in Minneapolis last night, and there are many more anti-ICE demonstrations planned across the country today. Also, DHS tells Fox News that within the next couple of days, up to 1,000 additional agents will surge Minneapolis here. So DHS placing its focus on Minneapolis-St. Paul. Back to you in New York.
Thanks, Matt. For more on this, let's bring in Fox News contributor and criminal defense attorney Donna Rotunno. Great to see you this morning, Donna. So really kind of remarkable clip there from Mayor Jacob Frey, who appears to be disappointed that the ICE agent wasn't injured more severely when he got rammed with that car. What does that new video tell you?
Well, first of all, it's just baffling to me to listen to these press conferences.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you can do these gymnastics with this, you know, this idea that this is normal behavior. First of all, we look at that. Yeah, I mean, what we look at when we see that video is we see that the two women in that vehicle and outside of that vehicle are taunting the agents. You know, this idea that she's saying, I'm not mad at you, so therefore she's absolved of her behavior is ridiculous. They're taunting the agents. You have to remember, she was blocking traffic for minutes before this. You're not allowed to do that. She's blocking traffic. She's taunting the agents. These agents are there doing a lawful job. They are there executing orders that have been given to them, and they are not taunting in any way. They're there doing their job. You have these agitators, these protests. What are they hoping to have happen? They are hoping for these interactions. They have cell phones pointed in the faces of these agents. This is what they are asking to have happen. And then when the agents give them a lawful order, what does she do? She guns the car in the direction of a human. And when you watch that video, there's no other way to see it other than this car coming at him. What is he supposed to do? Of course he has to act. And this idea that he was minorly injured, he wasn't injured enough to make it okay, is ridiculous. And if you look at the legal standard is, was he in fear of receiving a battery?
Right.
Was there a reasonable apprehension of receiving a battery? What else would you believe when a car is coming not only at you, but hits you? And it seems that that gun was not fired until the contact was actually made. I cannot believe this is becoming the issue that it is.
Right. Well, of course, it does seem just as clear as you lay it out. But I suspect politicians in Minneapolis are going to continue to do all they can to agitate and fan the flames of this. I want to
shame
change.
on them. Shame
yeah,
on them
exactly.
for it.
I want to change gears real quickly and ask you about the Mangione trial. Looks like jury selection could begin as soon as September, but obviously his team is still trying to get the death penalty off the table. What are you looking for coming up?
So what we're waiting to see is what the judge is going to rule based on the hearings yesterday. The defense is very vigorously trying to have the murder count dismissed, because if they do that, it takes death penalty off the table. So if the judge rules that that count is dismissed, then it looks like they will be picking a jury in September. If the judge rules that that count stays and this will remain a capital case, then I think the court was talking about jury selection in January.
Donna Rotunno, thank you so much.
Thanks, Charlie.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.